Up first tonight, the NTSB is sending a team to Houston to begin digging into what happened when two private jets collided on the runway at Hobby Airport today.
Yeah, that news just coming in about the last half hour as the feds try and figure out exactly what went wrong here. We have live team coverage for you tonight from Hobby Airport.
Maria Aguilera with flights now resuming. But up first, Marcelino Benito with a closer look at how much worse this could have been. Marcelino.
Well, Len and Mia, this was an extremely close call, and based on my interview tonight with an aviation expert, he tells me based on what he's seen, this could have been a major catastrophe.
We just had a midair. We can't do that. Say what?
Confusion in air traffic control as the pilots of a small Hawker business jet tried to turn back moments after taking off from Hobby and colliding with another jet on the runway.
You guys cleared somebody to take off or land, and we hit them on a departure.
Yes, sir. You need to come back to the airport, you said, right?
Yeah, immediately.
This is a closer look at what the FAA is telling us happened around 3:30 this afternoon. The twin-engine Hawker, seen here in red, raced down runway 22 for takeoff without permission. At the same time, a twin-engine Cessna business jet, seen here in blue, was landing on runway 13. The runways are perpendicular to one another. They collided where the runways meet.
Luckily, it didn't cause enough damage for the airplane that was going flying, so it could come back and land. And luckily, they didn't strike in the middle of each other, because then we would be talking about a whole nother catastrophe.
Oliver Brown is a former commercial pilot and aviation expert. He says looking at the damage, he can tell the impact was severe. The departing plane traveling fast enough that aborting the takeoff likely became impossible.
It was a wing to rudder type contact. Going to be interesting to see if the pilots, were trying to abort or what evasive maneuvers that they took. When you have intersecting runways, that's when you really have to be the most vigilant.
Fortunately, no one on board either jet was injured, but aircraft debris littered the runways,
It's going to be wild.
shutting down Hobby for hours. Tonight, the airport back open, our cameras catching what appears to be the opening stages of an investigation by the FAA and NTSB tonight, as the feds try to figure out how this was allowed to happen and who ultimately is responsible.
This is a very fortunate outcome. This is the most serious infraction that pilots can be involved in.
Now tonight we've tracked ownership of these two planes. One is a Houston-based company called Whitmore Holdings, and the second an Atlanta-based firm. We have reached out to both of those companies tonight, and so far we have not heard back. Back to you.
Very close call, Marcelino. Thank you.
Let's turn now to Maria Aguilera. Maria, this was a huge headache for plenty of passengers today.
Len, Mia, we spoke with several passengers this evening. It was clear this was not the day they expected to have here at Hobby Airport.
As you probably are aware, the FAA is currently conditionally inspecting our runways for reopening here at Hobby.
Passengers at Hobby Airport scrambling late this afternoon.
But I've gotten at least 7 or 8 text messages with constant changes.
Some flights diverted, others canceled.
They made like a huge announcement saying that the airport was closed and that essentially flights would be delayed.
This after 2 private jets collided on the runway.
It's not ideal place to spend my birthday at, but like I said, I'm gonna make the best of it. Don't have too many other options now, so.
Troy Londa Backus was going back to Columbus, Ohio for her birthday, stuck in Houston for several hours, getting constant text updates with new departure times.
When I first heard about it, I thought, oh no.
Tammy Bilski lives in Clear Lake. She was going to Kentucky to see her niece. Not knowing what would happen, she decided to go back home and reschedule her flight for tomorrow.
I live in Houston, so it's not as big a deal for me, but I feel sorry for the other people.
The frustration was evident inside the airport, trying to figure out their next move.
In the big picture, it's just a bump in the road and we move on. So it's frustrating, but not a big deal.
We are confident that we will be operating again today.
Again, flights here began departing just before 7 p.m. A frustrating day, but fortunately no one was hurt. Live at Hobby Airport, Maria Aguilera, KHOU 11 News.
We'll be sure to stay on top of the FAA investigation into what went wrong today and how it can be prevented from happening again. Look for our updates on air and online at KHOU.com.